Hello, my friends. Thank you so much for coming back. I love that you've joined me for yet another discussion on how to use your book to support a bigger mission. And perhaps that's what every book does. That's okay. I would definitely agree with that. I like that. That's what we're going with, okay? Except in this month, what I want to do within this theme, within this particular video, what I want to do is bring attention to how you can put as much fuel on this fire as possible, okay? So in my last video, we talked about books that break stereotypes, and that's a really big mission. I definitely have a story in me that would fuel that fire. And in this video, what I want to talk about is partnering with a nonprofit or charity organization and how that looks like for your book. So let's use a couple examples here. I have a client who's writing a book about the various 3 or 4 perhaps heart surgeries that she's had within 20 plus years. She's younger than me, 20 years or so. In her young life, these are things that she's experienced. And for her to survive and go on and start writing her book and start sharing her story of how she's learned so many things because of these experiences, as you can imagine, an organization like the American Heart Association would be an excellent place for her to partner. So she's been in contact with them. They've invited her to speak at events. When her book is out, they will be supporting that effort as well. And not only that, but you can always choose to give part of your proceeds or all of your profits of your book sales to a designated charity of your choice. What this does for you is a couple things. Obviously, there's the whole feel-good thing about supporting a charity, supporting a nonprofit, right? That's good. But what it does is it tells your readers that you're about something a little bit bigger. And please do not mistake this conversation for me saying that writing a book to earn some money is wrong or evil or bad. It is not. I absolutely support that. You're putting money and time and effort, blood, sweat, and tears into this project. You should absolutely go for an ROI. That's okay. And maybe that's what you do. You say, I want to hit even and everything else goes to the charity. Absolutely. So there's nothing wrong with that. But I just want to bring some other conversation, some other things to think about into this conversation, into this picture. So there's a variety of ways you can do it. I've had people say, a certain percentage of my profits is donated to a charity or whatever it is. Your readers will feel like they are also part of that bigger mission. You've invited them in to participate. They know their money is going to something bigger. It's interesting because when we buy anything, right, we know that the person or company or business, whatever, that we buy that thing from, that product or service, has the freedom to do whatever they want with their money. And that's fine. We'll trade you for the service or good. But when we are able to give our money to a bigger thing, you're passing on that good feeling, that humanitarian effort, if you will, to make this world a better place in a direct way. We feel like, you know what? This is not going to sit in some bank account somewhere or someone's pocket or just go to bills and a mortgage and whatever it is, which is totally fine. But this is actually going for something bigger that you care about. If you are writing a story about being abused as a child and you can support a company, a nonprofit that is aiming to stop that or aiming to support children in that area, why would you not want to do that, right? Or why would your readers who are drawn to your book for some particular reason not want to partake in that? They will. They do. So typically you get a great response from the public for this. And it shouldn't be the thing that you're like, hey, come read my book, by the way, like charity, you're gonna help out. But absolutely tell people this is what you're about. This is your bigger purpose, your bigger mission. This is the thing that you are out there trying to, again, like put the fuel on the flames for. You're trying to add to a current conversation. You're trying to add to a current mission, a bigger mission by partnering with, a nonprofit, an organization, a group, a company that is already championing this cause. You're saying, hey, count me in, count me in. And here's how I'm going to do this. I'm going to share my story that touches on an issue that's related to your work, your mission. And I'm going to let you know how much your work means to me. And I'm going to let my readers know how much this cause means to me, because it could have, did, or will change my life and change others' lives, right? So this, again, is not required. It's not necessary. You can choose to do this before you publish. You can choose to do it after you publish. It really doesn't matter how. But what I want you to do is be mindful about it, because you will be able to make a bigger wave when you involve your readers in it, when your readers can get involved in this bigger mission with you. They like that you are driving the horse, driving the chariot, if you will, and you're saying, okay, onward we go in that direction. And they're like, okay, yep, we're in. Here's my 20, here's my 15, whatever the price of your book is, they're in for that. They can do more if they want, but it's easy. It's like, yes, count me in. I'm not only going to read this amazing story, but I'm going to feel so good that I'm doing something good for the world, and it's easy. It's easy for them. You're driving the cart. They get to just hop on for the ride and say like, yep, I'm in with you. Let's do this thing. So think about whether or not this is right for your book. It may not be. There may not be a charity that you're called to support, and that's perfectly fine. You don't necessarily, there's nothing that says you have to do this or you have to pick just one, or, there's no rules about this. It's just something that I like to bring up. I've seen other authors do. It's something that's near and dear to their heart, and they want to support these particular organizations or causes. I've also had readers or clients, authors, who want to support particular organizations, charity, nonprofit organizations that they know support a particular side of a debate. For example, pro-choice or whatever, but they don't want their book isn't necessarily aiming in that direction, if you will. And they don't want their readers to feel alienated in connecting with their particular message because they personally lean to one side of the issue. If their story doesn't necessarily lean with them, if you know what I mean. I don't know. Maybe I'm being a little vague there. That's okay. The point is, you don't always have to tell the readers what charity that you want to donate your funds to, your profit. You can simply just say a portion of the proceeds are going to a charitable organization. If that's truly what you want to do, so that you don't, I guess, alienate a portion of your readership is the way I would look at it. You don't want them to feel like they're jumping on some bandwagon they don't want to jump on. So it's just something to think about. I think it's a wonderful thing to do. I absolutely would support you in this. I absolutely would support you any other way. All right? Let's just get that straight. But if you came and said like, I do want to support a nonprofit, but I don't want to do it until I've hit my ROI or I've hit break-even point, then that's fine too. Let's do it. So again, just something else to think about when you think about how your book is supporting a bigger mission out there and changing the world. That's what we're all about at Inkworthy Books. We want to help people write books that change the world, because we really, 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 really need some more voices out there, especially female voices, if you ask me. Okay, that's it. Off my soapbox. Please come back for more videos, especially if you like this one or the last one, because it's going to be along the same vein. So I'll see you there.